will.
We will. Okay, Jeff.
It's in our district, and it's near and dear to my heart. And you had a big part in delaying the construction of it. But Birmingham Crossroads, since it's been developed, has 11 businesses that have gone out of business since it started. And there's questions of whether or not it even should be in existence or whether it will survive. What is your plan to be able to revive that community?
First, let me make it very clear that I was helping to master plan the Birmingham Crossroads long before it was kind of the sexy thing to do. There was commercial land at the Crossroads, and there were folks, citizens like you, many of you guys in the audience today, that very much did not want to see traditional strip shopping centers. People said, we really don't want that. And so rather than just simply say no, what I did do was to go after land planning companies across the country and internationally, finding RTKL. RTKL pro bono came down to our wonderful little community of Northwest Fulton and said, you know what, you're right, we can master plan, we can have appropriate development. And so let me also make it clear that I'm personally not responsible for the economic downturn that we're experiencing globally. So the fact that some businesses have closed here is no different than, unfortunately, what's happening in other communities across the country and across the world. We as a city, however, can embrace our local businesses. We do that. We list businesses on our website. We promote those through the mayor's letter that goes out every month saying, please go and patronize your local businesses. Me and my family do that when we can afford to go out. When it comes time to look for how to promote the Crossroads, we help to do that through our communications. We help to do that through the promotion of concurrence with the sign ordinance that we're currently reevaluating. That sign ordinance can, after 5 years, be reviewed, and we're doing that. We're proactively doing that. The Birmingham Crossroads will be sustainable. I personally went after Publix and said, we need you to come to our community. Myself, along with many volunteers, made that happen. It's a wonderful example. Publix takes that nationally.
Mr. Kunz, 30 seconds.
We need to increase demand in the area, and I think the only way that we're going to be able to do that is if we actually build Birmingham Park. We need to make sure that the people are going to be in that area, and if they don't come to that area, and if we don't attract those dollars from Cherokee County, then I think that there's no way it'll really survive in a global economic downturn. We have to make sure that we have those businesses stay here. It's a big part of what we are. So from that standpoint, the sign ordinance, yeah, we're working on that, but it's been delayed forever. The philosophy in that business since the get-go has really made it difficult for those businesses to make it. We need to figure out exactly what's going to make them be competitive so people come.
Ms. Bailey, 30 seconds.
The park is being developed. It will bring additional demand. We also need to make sure, however, that we survey and continue to get our citizens' input in terms of what uses do we want to be located in a particular area. Whether it's the Crossroads, whether it's Highway 9, whether it's Crabapple. The Crossroads is not the only place within our community that needs us to promote those businesses. We need to be engaging our businesses as part of our communication. We need to be asking them, what can we do collectively together to work together to bring more demand to the area? But that demand can come without expanding.
Ms. Bailey.
In your campaign release, dated Friday, October 14th, you stated, and again I quote, I understand finances. As a financial advisor, it is my job to watch the markets and successfully manage large sums of money in both good and challenging economic times. I can tell you that our current path is unsustainable, end quote. We've generated as a city a fund surplus of $7.8 million in only a few short years, during the worst recession of our time. The city of Milton, is estimating an extra $3.5 million minimally, that's a 3.5 minimum, allocation of sales tax revenue from Fulton County. The specific amount is still to be determined based on actual revenues, but it is legally mandated by the state, and the calculation is clearly defined. Please explain specifically and describe in detail the basis of your assertion that our current financial management and plans are somehow not sustainable.
The 2030 Comprehensive Plan on page 17 says that by that time our expenditures will outdo our revenue, and we don't have any way to be able to make that happen. I mean, that's in the book, that's in the plan. So from where we are, with what I know as a citizen who decides to make a difference in this community, I know that we have to make sure that we are sustainable, and the only way I think we need to do that is by maximizing the current existing commercial zones. It's 2.4%. We should be able to do that and make it. The problem, though, is that we don't want to depend on a government handout. The loss tax she's talking about isn't even going to be negotiated for another year, and then 3.5%, by the way, is the maximum you're allowed to get, and you tell me anybody that needs to know exactly when they get the maximum whenever they negotiate anything. I don't want to depend on that. Do you? As a community? Aren't we better than that? What's our standard? That's the question. So We have a choice. Again, Pareto principle, what are we going to do? Sustainability on our own, 6% commercial, commercial is 6 times more effective than the residential, not including the taxes from alcohol sales and licenses and things of that nature. We have plenty we can do from a business perspective. Much we can do. We don't need to expand our existing commercial zones, but we need to attract the entrepreneurs and healthy entrepreneurs that are already here. We need to make sure that we draw businesses here to this area so that we can attract talent to help the services that the community here needs. We need to do that. I'm not going to depend on a government handout from someone else. I'm sorry, I just don't work that way.
You obviously don't understand the state law. It's not a handout. It's citizen dollars that are expended that we are due. We use that today and have for the last 5 years. That money is due to our citizens. It's not a negotiation. That's our money. It's their money. We're going to go get it. I hope you're not going to wait to go get that money. You also don't understand that page 17 in the book is irrelevant. It's an old model. The guy that developed it is unfortunately deceased. It was part of CH2 and Hill. It is irrelevant. None of us are relying on those dollars. Or on those models because they are absolutely incorrect and not factual. Your facts are incorrect.
I disagree. I mean, from my standpoint, where I know being a free market guy, I know the value of supply and demand economics. I look at countries all over the place as a financial advisor, and I see exactly how money flows. And we can be right whether or not we think we are, but no matter whether or not we think we are, money's going to flow where it wants to go. And we'd better be right, because it's going to flow to Alfred, Roswell, or Canton, or Cumming, or Johns Creek if we don't decide, if we get our act together, we got to make it. They're doing everything they can to attract dollars away from us. There's no reason